Hey guys, welcome back to the kitchen. Today in the kitchen I'm feeling like we should do something a little bit more classic, and one of my favorite recipes that I come back to time and time again is a really good chicken Caesar salad. Now my version is all about flavorful chicken that's pan fried until crisp and lovely and golden. We're going to create a sort of deconstructed crouton situation with some breadcrumbs crisped up in a frying pan. I'm going to make a really simple but classic Caesar dressing by hand that is an absolute winner. And then we're going to serve it up with plenty of baby gem lettuce, some soft-boiled eggs, and some crispy chicken skin. This is my version of a really good chicken Caesar salad, and it is very easy to start off. It's going to begin with the chicken. So with your chicken, I always think it's about making the most of the chicken you're using. I've got some chicken breasts here, and I've actually bashed them between 2 sheets of parchment paper. Now the reason I've flattened them so that they're nice and thin like this is that, number one, they'll cook really quickly, but when I season them up with the seasoning I'm going to use, it allows for the flavor to seep into the flesh and give you even more flavorful chicken pieces when it comes to your salad. So I have my pan on, coming up to a nice high temperature. I've created a little salt mixture in this pot with some chopped rosemary. It's a really good aromatic herb that grows really well throughout the year in my garden. I've chopped it up with some sea salt, and we're just going to sprinkle this across our chicken. Often with chicken breasts like this, it really doesn't need that much flavor. You know, if you've got some really well seasoned chicken alongside some aromatic herb like a rosemary or thyme works really well. A little bit of smoked paprika will give a lovely smokiness that works with your chicken. And I'm just going to season them on one side, and then we're going to do exactly the same on the other once this ends up in the pan. A little bit of oil into our non-stick frying pan. You could do this on a griddle pan and you get nice smoky action as well, but to be honest, a nice non-stick frying pan, you're still going to get that lovely golden action. So straight onto our pan, we're going in. And then don't forget any of that seasoning that's in on that parchment paper. You can just toss that over the top. And again, just season it up so that it's nicely seasoned on both sides. So good bit of salt here. And I like to think of all the elements that you're adding to your chicken Caesar salad are about kind of the crunch, the smoke, the saltiness, the hit of flavor that it's going to add to that fresh crunch that you get from the salad leaves. A little bit more of smoked paprika over the top, and generous seasoning of black pepper. And these are only going to take just a minute or two on each side, just until they're nicely cooked through and we have a nice golden brown color. In fact, I can see they're cooking already, so I'm going to lower the heat down. And meanwhile, in our other pan, I'm going to go in there with more oil, and we're going to get going with our breadcrumbs. So, oil into the pan. Now, I have a thing about croutons in a Caesar salad. I know traditionally it's like big chunks of bread, but I like to add a little crispy crunch at the end so that it kind of sprinkles all the way over everything, almost like an American-style Cobb salad. So rather than chunky croutons here, I'm going to toast up some breadcrumbs, pop it into the pan with plenty of olive oil. We're going to season it up, add a little bit of lemon zest, add a little bit of black pepper, salt, and essentially what you get left with is this gorgeous crunchy mixture that you can add over the top of your salad leaves. It coats everything. Like I said, it's kind of like an American Cobb style one, but it works beautifully and you don't have to worry about getting the oven on. So as soon as it goes in there, start moving it through that oil. You want every little bit of bread to catch a little bit of the oil and to ensure that it goes nice and crispy. Like I said, generous seasoning, black pepper, sea salt goes in here, and just keep coming back to it. Keep your eye on it constantly. You don't want it to burn, but you do want that lovely golden crispy crunch that's going to infuse our entire chicken Caesar salad with loads of golden gorgeous crumb. So let's leave that aside. Our chicken at this point should be about halfway cooked, so I'm going to pop them over. Look at that, gorgeous color, and that rich red color you're getting, that's from the paprika. So that's why I like to add it here. It's a bit of difference in your chicken Caesar salad, and it looks great too. So you're gonna keep that cooking away, and while it's cooking away, as it's turned over, I'm just gonna add a little bit of lemon zest straight over the top here, a little bit of freshness, and then a little bit into our breadcrumb mixture as well. So just constantly keep your eye on things. You've got your chicken cooking out, you've got your breadcrumbs going nice and golden, keep things moving. And as I'm going to make this Caesar salad dressing, I want to keep my eye on everything. So I'm actually going to lower down the heat on everything just now to make sure that it cooks out evenly, and I hopefully don't burn it as we go along. Now, we're going to make up a classic Caesar salad dressing. Now look, there's plenty of recipes online about using mayo with garlic. I've written some myself, But this is a classic Caesar dressing, and for that, you absolutely need, and I know it's an ingredient people get a little bit fussy about, but some chopped anchovies. A little bit of anchovy is going to be what makes the difference to your classic Caesar dressing. So that goes in alongside an egg yolk. You're essentially kind of making somewhat of a mayo, and then we're going to loosen it out. We're going to add to this a little hit of some garlic. You actually don't need too much garlic here, so it's about half a clove going in here. Give that a little tap. And while this is happening, I still want to check that my chicken's okay. I just don't want to burn it. And also my breadcrumbs. I feel like I have to keep moving as we do this to make sure that we're completely keeping an eye on everything. So give that a toss through. This is looking good. Chicken's on the way. We've got our garlic, our anchovies, and our egg yolk in there. To this, we're going to add a little dollop of Dijon mustard. It adds that lovely peppery bite. Next ingredient in, a little touch of Worcestershire sauce. It only needs a splash in there. And now comes the moment of bringing it all together. So I'm going to grab up a whisk, and before I do, my chicken is just about cooked, so I'm going to turn off the heat on that. Our breadcrumbs at this point look pretty good, nicely toasted, and they'll probably toast in that residual heat, so we'll leave that aside. Everything's looking good this side. Now we need to focus on making this Caesar dressing. So give the contents of the bowl a good whisk up. So once you've mixed that up, nice and smooth, and it's looking good, now comes a little bit of patience. So I'm going to continuously whisk while slowly drizzling in some oil. And we're going to drizzle this in until this starts to kind of form almost like a rough mayonnaise. And then we're going to loosen it out with a little bit of lemon juice and plenty of Parmesan cheese, just to give us that lovely, authentic Caesar salad dressing. Now, top tip here is have patience with this. If you add it too quickly, it has a tendency to split. So it's just a constant, steady drizzle while whisking it in to incorporate. So take your time, it'll come together, and you'll be left with a gorgeous dressing. I've very much enjoyed lately just something as simple as this. It's a real classic thing to make in the kitchen. A Caesar dressing, or actually, to be honest, just a really good mayonnaise. I got duck eggs recently and made a really gorgeous duck egg mayonnaise, and the yolks you get with duck eggs are incredibly yellow and make the most beautiful of mayos. But you can serve it with meat, make it into an aioli. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it's just one of those classic things you can learn in the kitchen that leave you with something absolutely phenomenal. And it's only a couple of ingredients as well. Now, if you don't like the look of this and you think, oh, Jesus, that's too much effort, you can actually make this in a food processor. You just whiz all the ingredients we started with on high, and then you slowly drizzle in the oil through the little chute, and it'll do exactly... Holy moly! See, this is why you got to keep your eye on your breadcrumbs. I thought I turned off the heat. Oh, no! We're going for charred, crunchy, crispy breadcrumbs here. No, they're still okay. Yeah, no, there's still some action there. Golden brown was what we were looking for. You saw me. I thought I turned off the heat. You saw me turn off the heat, right? Anyway, we've got very crispy, crunchy breadcrumbs. In fact, I'm going to take them out and put them on a plate now because that will completely stop the cooking. They do look a little charred. I might have to pick out the good bits. But anyway, we have gorgeous breadcrumbs ready to rock. Place them out on a plate and let them cool down. Chicken is, yeah, we're definitely off on the chicken. Now, back to our Caesar dressing. Keep it going and keep on whisking. We're nearly there. I've nearly added all the oil. And we're going to loosen this very thick mixture out with a little bit of lemon juice until we have the right consistency. Now, in terms of oils that you can use for this, sometimes I'll make it with all extra virgin olive oil, but it can be quite a strong flavor. So I've actually got a little mix of extra virgin olive oil and just some regular sunflower oil to get that peppery bite that you get with extra virgin olive oil, but also just kind of the mellowness that you get from sunflower oil. So that's all our oil pretty much incorporated at this point. And as you can see, we have a really lovely viscous mixture. It's actually almost too thick for, a Caesar dressing. So what I like to do at this point is split your lemon in half. We're gonna add our lemon juice in just for that kind of acidic bite here. I'm just gonna squeeze it through my hands to ensure that no pips go in. And if it's still too liquidy at this point, what you can do is add a little splash of water. But to be honest, that to me looks like the perfect consistency for my Caesar dressing. It's a little bit thicker than a regular dressing, but it looks great. Now, important to add your Parmesan cheese at this point. So I have some grated Parmesan cheese. That goes in. We're also gonna add more when it comes time to serve. But I love the fact that not only by adding it now do you get the texture, but you also get that lovely salty bite that the Parm gives. So right now, we have a gorgeous looking Caesar dressing. I just wanna give it a taste and make sure we're good. There really is nothing like a good Caesar salad dressing that you've made from scratch. This needs a little bit of black pepper just to kind of round out the flavor. It's got enough salt going on there. There's lovely acidity from the lemon juice now. If I wanted, I'd add a tiny bit more, but to be honest, I think it's pretty much there. So we have, at this point now, our Caesar dressing. And if by the magic of TV or YouTube or whatever you're watching, I have those lovely, crispy, crunchy, gorgeously golden breadcrumbs that were never charred and never blackened. I don't know what you're talking about. They're ready to go on our salad. Now, we've got our chicken cooked. We've got our amazing golden breadcrumbs that are ready to rock. We've got our Caesar dressing. And from behind here, I have some soft-boiled eggs, which I'm going to serve alongside some baby gem that I've split down, or little gem, you might know them as. I've just split them in quarters, and they're nicely holding the shape. I love serving them like this. They look really pretty. And to finish it, some nice gratings of some Parmesan cheese. So I like the idea that you kind of have everything ready to rock at this point. Oh, and my last little tip, which I think you're gonna like. If you have chicken breasts with skin on, I like to remove the skin, place them between 2 baking sheets with some parchment paper, season them up, and what you get left with is these amazing crispy chicken skins that go a long way to adding some serious flavor and crunch to this epic Caesar salad. So we have our lovely crispy chicken skins. I have my chicken breasts ready to rock. So I'm gonna take them out of the pan and we're gonna slice them up. So that's it. We have pretty much all our elements ready to rock. We've got our chicken sliced up, and now I'm just going to tumble them all out onto a nice big serving platter. We're going to serve it up with plenty of that Caesar dressing, loads of Parmesan cheese, the boiled eggs, and we're ready to rock. Just finish it off with a tiny touch of black pepper, and come on, like that looks gorgeous. It might not be your classic chicken Caesar salad, but for me, this is how I always make it. And I love the addition of the crispy chicken skin, particularly if you end up with chicken that has skin on. Make sure you do that little tip. Do not throw them in the bin. Crispy little chunks of that. Eggs, if you want, are optional, but they look great on top. There's lots of things going on in here, so I'm gonna dive in and try some and see how our little dressing is looking. This is more of a platter for a few people, but I feel like it would be a shame not to try it since we've gone to all that effort and hard work. For such a simple salad, there is so much going on here. And while I love my big flavor dishes, this is something that relies on simplicity. The really gorgeous Caesar dressing that is just peppered with the anchovies throughout. That really creamy, luxurious thing that you get when you add the oil slowly dripped into the egg yolk. That just is next level and will not be like mayo out of a jar. This is a gorgeous little classic recipe that has loads of great little things going on in it. I hope you will give it a go. It tastes so good, and it's a perfect summer recipe if you're looking for something fresh these summer months. If you want the full recipe, as always, it is in the box below. You'll find it over my website. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications to know when delicious recipes just like this one lands on your plate. And as always, leave me a comment in the box below and let me know if you're going to try my not so classic chicken Caesar salad. I am going to dive into some crispy chicken skin and all the good things that are on this plate, and I'll see you soon.